First cab off the rank is the father of the groom, Mark. If you would like to come forward.
Hello everyone. Let me get my notes. Okay. For those of you that don't know me, or haven't met me yet, my name is Mark Selby-Hele. I'm Ben's father, and now very proudly V's new father-in-law. Along with my wife Kerry, our children Jessie and Annabelle, V's parents Reuben and Saris, her brothers Darren and Trishan. I'd like to extend a big welcome to all our guests, friends and family, and especially welcome our interstate and overseas guests that have travelled large distances to our home here in Mount Eliza to celebrate this very happy and special occasion. I stand here today very happy in the knowledge that my eldest son Ben has met such a wonderful young woman to be his partner in their journey through life together. As a parent and a father, you wish and hope initially that your children will grow up healthy and happy, and that when the time comes for them to take a partner, that they choose to live and be with that someone will bring them happiness, will bring happiness into both their lives throughout their married life together. I know Ben and V will have this happy life together with one another. It's also at special times like this that we remember others that are no longer with us. For over a decade now, we have known that Ben's mantra in life is that he chooses to be awesome. I know that Ben marrying V today is truly the most awesome decision either of them will make in their life. So please join with me in congratulating Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin and V Selby-Hele on the occasion of their wedding here today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jo. I'm Vrishka's bestie from New Zealand. I've known Vrishka for about 12 years now, and over that time we've definitely become more like family than friends, and I really feel so honoured to be here today to share this awesome day with you and Ben, and of course all of you, their closest family and friends. Vrishka and I actually met back in uni. Yeah, a long time ago. Back when we were young and free, and our biggest worry was the shortage of boys in New Zealand. Over the years, we've shared so many milestones though, like graduating, starting our first jobs, turning 21, getting matching tattoos, even heartbreak. But through all of those times, most of our conversations usually revolved around one topic, and that was how we were going to find Vrishka a really nice boy to get married to. But after about 8 years of being not very successful, we decided to come up with a plan. So basically the plan was that Vrishka would move to Australia, join some sort of online dating thing, meet the love of her life, get married and pop out a couple of mixed kids. Yes, back then we did know that this guy would most probably be white. Fast forward a couple of years and Vrishka moves to Melbourne. Within a year of being here, she meets Ben, and well, they start this amazing journey of life together, which is awesome. But when Vrishka told me about her first date with Ben, I'd actually never heard her speak of anyone else the way she spoke about him. And I thought, oh, this may very well be that special someone she's been looking for. However, for me, the deal was sealed when Ben moved to Mexico. And when Vrishka found out about Ben's plans, they had just started dating, just for a little while really. And we were pretty gutted because at this point Rushka was, had been searching a very long time for Mr. Right. And Ben seemed to tick a lot of those boxes. Most importantly, the buffness box. So, we were like, oh damn it, we really don't want to go back and update this. Buffness. We thought, we really don't want to go back and update the Tinder profile again. But, Ben was such a gentleman during that time. He was so committed to Verushka and so determined to make her feel safe and secure while he was in Mexico. He would wake up at 5 o'clock every single morning just so that they could Skype, even if it was just for a few minutes. If they weren't Skyping, they were texting each other. And no matter what securities Verushka had over that year, Ben was very happy to talk through it, however many times it needed to be talked through as well. And even though he was miles away, he always made his presence felt at home by sticking up silly photos of him and Verushka around the apartment, or sending her really thoughtful gifts for special occasions. And the great thing was that Verushka was just as committed to Ben. So the thought of Ben leaving was really hard for her, but she really wanted to support him in making his dream a reality. So she took up some Spanish classes, and even before he left Melbourne, she had already booked a trip to Mexico to see him. So that was awesome. And that's when I really knew that Verushka and Ben would spend a lifetime together, helping each other fulfill their dreams and loving each other every step of the way. Ben, you have found yourself one hell of a lady. Her madness means that you will never be bored. And she will love you forever and very fiercely. Thank you so much for being Verushka's rock and for making her so very happy.
Yeah, Betty.
Verushka, you have waited a long time to find your love. And I'm so happy that you finally found him. All those nights talking about your perfect match. Even back then, we couldn't have dreamed up someone as perfect as Ben. I love you both very much, and I wish you an adventure that is everlasting.
Well, there was a couple more surprises for you. There's no need for me to say that the pressure's now on Brad, the best man. Who wants to hear Brad? And have a look at this for old fashioned. He hasn't pulled out his phone, he's pulled out a bit of bloody paper. And there's a whole ream of it, so if you haven't got a seat, get ready.
Strap in. So ladies and gentlemen, look, yes, I'm keeping it rather traditional tonight with the paper, but I do have a fair bit to say, so just bear with me for a moment if you could. It is an absolutely beautiful sight to be here on this perfect evening, surrounded by the family and the closest of friends of this amazing couple, Benny and V. For those who I have not had the pleasure of meeting, and I'm sure I get around on the dance floor, I am the best man for the dashing groom, Mr. Benjamin Selby-Hele. Worth a clap. Scrubbed up rather well. But before I jump into the speech, I do want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the beautiful bridesmaids and also mention how supportive they've been for V across this journey. I know it's incredibly hard to plan a standard wedding, let alone a surprise wedding with all of you bastards breathing down their necks. So they've been absolutely wonderful support. So well done, girls. Very good job. And to V, you're always stunning. You know this, but you've absolutely eclipsed yourself this evening. You look beautiful, and I'm very proud to be standing up here today talking on behalf of such an amazing couple. Now let's just move on from that, okay? Let's just get beyond that, because that's the standard piece done for the evening. Now, during the ceremony and the celebration, the role of the best man is rather vast, and it can be quite confronting depending on how far you delve into the historical archives. In an effort to ensure that I met the brief, I was quite nervous about this privilege that's been bestowed on me. I decided to complete some extensive research. I'm not going to bore you with all the articles I read. However, in historical times, the best man's primary role during the celebrations was to stand guard and to ensure that the bride's family didn't change their mind and try and take their daughter back to their home village. So on that note, Reuben, Saris, consider me on duty. Others will tell you in modern times it's simply about, look, getting the groom to the altar in one piece and ensuring that the rings are here. But let's be honest, those who know Benny well, and we all do, have seen his absolute impeccable organisational skills in practice, and you'll know that he was destined to arrive here in absolute tip-top shape with or without my help. So this left me in quite the conundrum. What's my role? Then it dawned on me. I've had the pleasure of knowing this fine gentleman we see in front of us for over 15 years, growing up together from teenagers to adults, and I've had the privilege of calling him my best mate along that journey. And so V, I thought who better to stand up here today, turn of page, and let you know just the man that you have married this evening than me. So this takes me to the point in the speech I'd like to refer as Ben is. Ben is, he's fashion forward. He's a fashionista, if you like. And it was Ralph Lauren who once stated, in fashion, attitude is everything. And Ben embraces this motto wholeheartedly. He looks nervous. During the early 2000s, you would commonly see Ben sporting a crisp white belt, holding up a pair of ill-fitting jeans, and rounded off by a suave pair of fake crocodile skin shoes.
Real Chris.
All fake. Back then, the boys often thought, you know what, he's just before his time, and with the power of hindsight, we can now see that he was dressing in his own style. And while he may have resembled a strange combination of part Colombian drug dealer and part NSYNC band member, it became quite clear that Ben does his things his own way. Never one to embrace the norm, and one of his greatest characteristics. And V, I have noticed a significant improvement in Benny's apparel choices since you've been on the scene. So please continue to keep him in check as you enter into married life. Ben is a hardened criminal. Now, I am sad to have to reveal this on such a beautiful evening, but Ben has a checkered past, and V, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, or maybe it was Ben's bad boy attitude that attracted you to him in the first place. But Benjamin Selby-Hele, ladies and gentlemen, is a convicted criminal, and I'm not talking about crimes against fashion. Ben, accompanied by two close friends who will remain nameless in order to avoid self-incrimination, performed what can only be described as an Ocean's 11 style heist on a local unsuspecting golf course. Fleecing the unguarded practice facility, of some 100 golf balls. At the time, Ben had undergone one of his 20-odd knee operations. He has terrible knees, Varushka, by the way, and it could be hereditary. And he did volunteer to be the getaway driver, which I thought was big of him. And the important cog of any wheel of any sort of special ops kind of heist. So as we exited the car park at a reasonable 20 kilometres an hour, Ben very rarely hits the speed limit, let alone exceeds it. It all seemed the crime went seamlessly well. And we returned home with our loot to celebrate with a casual chipping contest in the back garden. It wasn't until Mark Selby waltzed home, came out the back to inform the three individuals in question that he'd taken a call from the Frankston police station. It was clear that we were sprung. As we exited the parking lot at what can only be described as a snail's pace, the club staff were clearly able to record the licence plate of Ben's car and traced it back to the reputable Selby-Hele family. So the story ends with the thieves, tail between their legs, entering the pro shop to return all the golf balls, our prized loot. But Benjamin, you are a married man now. So it's time to put your criminal past behind you. And V, it's over to you. Make sure you keep this bad boy on the straight and narrow. Get a bit serious now. Benny is driven and focused. if anyone else proclaimed to me that they were going to learn Spanish, live in Mexico, travel across the country on their lonesome, I would have scoffed at the idea. But not with Benny. He has a level of determination and grit that is unrivaled. I've admired this quality of Ben's and the many ways it's expressed itself over the years. From building a business from the ground up, living abroad in a foreign country, or becoming an extremely strong public speaker. Ben has a long list of goals with ticks against them. A list that would be impressive for a 50-something-year-old, let alone a young buck in his 30s. There is one thing you'll know for sure, V. The goals that you set out in married life will have the best chance of being achieved with Benjamin by your side. Ben is committed. The first-hand example of Benny's commitment is his disgustingly unwavering approach to the AM morning. For those who don't know, it's a routine that sees Ben rise at 4 AM, and what unfolds is a systematic approach to the wee hours in which Ben achieves more before 8 AM than most do in a standard day.
Good on you, Benny.
Yes, it is admirable. Maybe not that admirable. However, Ben's commitment to his family and friends is where you get a true sense of this man's character. When anyone in his circle is doing it tough or straying off the path, you're guaranteed he's going to reach out and offer some sound advice or even a few cheap gags with impeccable timing to lighten up the mood. He's been someone I'm proud to call my best mate for all these years, and V, I can safely say you have married a man with great character. This evening, and through the good times and the tougher times, Benny, true to form, will be committed to you, just like he has been to all of his friends and family who are here this evening.
Yep.
And I'm going to close on a little known fact about Benjamin Selby-Hele. Ben is in fact extremely religious. Extremely religious. It was a balmy evening, Jan 19, 2008, when Ben and a small group of his family and friends had a moment that can only be described as divine intervention. On the stage of the Sydney Myer Music Bowl, we witnessed an appearance from our Lord the Saviour in the form of John Bon Jovi. And as one of the great modern poets, his lyrics ring very true for such a love-filled evening.
Bring it home, Prince.
As tonight. So it only seems fitting that we hear some readings from the book of Jovi. Chapter 1, Born to be my baby. My heart beats like a drum, flesh to flesh, one to one. And I'll never let you go, cause there's something I know deep inside. You were born to be my baby. And baby, I was born to be your man. Chapter 2.
You're mine and I'm yours for the taking. Right now the rules we made are meant for breaking.
Here's 5 words I swear to you. When you breathe, I want to be the air for you. I'll be there for you. I live and I die for you. Steal the sun from the sky for you. Words can't say what a love can do. I'll be there for you.
I will give anything, my blood, my love, my life, if you are in these arms tonight.
I will love you always. I'll be there till the sun don't shine, till the heavens burst and the words don't rhyme. And when I die, you'll be on my mind, and I'll love you always.
Our love is like bad medicine. Bad medicine is what I need. Shake it up, just like bad medicine. There ain't no doctor that can cure my disease.
I don't want the stars! I don't want the moon! I like them just the way they are! All I wanted was you!
So before I ask everyone to raise their glasses, I do have one confession, Selbs, to end this speech. I've never really fully understood I Choose Awesome. And it sounds like I might not be alone. However, there's a catch. It wasn't until you gave me a buzz and you said, come on over to your folks' house to meet Varushka, that it all hit home and made sense. V, you are truly an awesome chick. And might I say, an absolutely sensational match for Benny. In this case, Benjamin Selby-Hele, you have chosen awesome. So on that note, we've all got B chooses V wristbands around, so let's put them in the sky, let's get a drink, and I'd like to propose a toast to the newly married couple, Benny and V.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree. He had a hard act to follow, but he followed it extremely well and has now put a hell of a lot of pressure on the next speaker. In fact, if I was the next speaker, I'd probably go home. But having introduced myself to the next speaker, well, it was back when they got engaged, actually, I'd like the father of the bride, Reuben, to come forward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, I'm not taking my daughter back to my village. It's now Ben's problem. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reuben, father of the beautiful bride. On behalf of my entire family, both here and abroad, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to family, friends, and relatives of the happy couple. As all of you have played some part, however small, in the lives of V and Ben, and are valued, and because of that, your presence here today is highly appreciated. Today is, of course, a celebration, not just of the love that has united V and Ben in marriage, but also of families that have created, influenced, the lives of these two special people. So thank you for being here to share this celebration with us. Both V's mom and I and her brothers are extremely proud of her and all that she has achieved over the years. We have watched her blossom from an adorable baby girl into a beautiful, strong, intelligent young woman. A beautiful, caring daughter and sister who has brought us so much joy and happiness. I'm sure that many of you will agree that V is a generous, fun-loving person. Always in good spirits and yes, the live wire in our lives. She has always set the bar high, excelling in whatever she puts her mind to. Graduating from university with multiple degrees was not enough. She wanted to go higher, she wanted more. And I'm proud to say in a few months, V will graduate with a doctorate in audiology. And that certainly is no mean achievement. It shows a commitment, dedication, and hard work. Rishka, you have made me the proudest dad in the world today. We have always been confident in your ability to make wise choices. And we believe once again you have done well in choosing Ben as your husband. When we first met, I knew instantly that Ben was a good man and a great match for you. I see how he showers you with love, respect, and kindness. And for that, I thank you, Ben. I know you will take great care of my daughter. And I want to take this opportunity to formally welcome you into our family, even though you have been part of it for some time now. I cannot deny that when I was giving V away today, I felt a sense of sadness and loss. But then I realized that I've never seen her so happy and radiant before, and that I was in fact gaining another son, and for that I'm thankful. To Kerry and Mark, thank you for welcoming V and us with generous open hearts into your family. You embraced Vi as part of your family from the very beginning, and I know that she loves and respects you too. And thank you for hosting the celebration at your beautiful home. We have started a tradition of celebrations and look forward to many, many more. So Ben, don't keep us waiting too long.
Obviously, Sarah's forced to say that, didn't
To all of you here today, thank you once again for joining us and making this a memorable occasion. Please join me in celebrating this beautiful couple and wishing them all the happiness in the world. Thank you.
I didn't anticipate on welling up this early on in the piece, to be honest. Thought I was going to struggle getting through mine, let alone everyone else's. But I think, you know, everyone who's spoken from the heart and so genuinely, and I really can't thank them enough for the roles they've played in V and I's journey up until this point, and their roles up until today. It's just extremely appreciated, and we love you all.
We love you, Benny.
Oh, thanks, mate. So I don't want to take up the rest of the night. I do enjoy the stage, you know that. But I'll try and keep it as brief and concise as I can. But there's obviously a few people that need special mention and thank yous, because this night wouldn't have been possible without them. But moreover, I need to talk a little bit about Varushka and I, obviously, because you guys are all here for us and it's our day. Whether or not you like it. Modesty's gone out the window. And we're going to bring it to the table and ham us up for a little bit. But firstly, I think, you know, those of you that know me well would have heard me say this probably a number of times, but I'm a firm believer that the quality of our lives is defined by the quality of our experiences and the memories we forge. And that isn't possible without quality people. And as I look around here tonight, and I know I speak on behalf of Varushka when I say this, the room's just packed full of quality. We're in a very good area, which means there's going to be a lot of memories forged and a lot of great experiences, but it just really warms my heart to know that I can look around this room and see so many beautiful people, everyone I consider family. It doesn't matter if, you know, you want to title yourself as friends, everyone's family that's here under this roof tonight. And I can just look back and see so many great memories that we've all shared and a history. And tonight we're just going to add to that even more. And that's what I'm excited about, because that's what living's about, in my opinion. So my first big thank you goes to all of you for making that time and that effort and putting in the energy to be here tonight. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Secondly, before I get into the bulk of the thank yous, I just wanted to take this opportunity to remember the people that aren't here. So all the people that are still abroad that couldn't make it. Varushka's got a lot of family over in South Africa, as well as in New Zealand, and we've got a couple of really good mates that weren't able to make it from interstate for whatever reasons, but we still love them just as much, even though they couldn't make it. But it's, you know, they're here in our thoughts. And obviously outside of that, it's the ones that aren't here with us physically anymore. So the likes of Ruben's father, Saris's parents, my grandfather, and more recently Nana and Pa. Yeah, okay, that's strong. Just one of those moments. Just gonna push through. But Nana and Pa, obviously for me, I'm very, extremely ecstatic that they got to meet Varushka before. Before we got there. I wasn't supposed to do this. It's good for the camera though. It's good for the camera. I'll just roll with it. Yeah, obviously Nana and Pa. Look, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a firm believer that, you know...
Jovi!
Yeah, Jovi. Outside of John Bon Jovi. I'm not a religious person in the traditional sense, but I'm a firm believer that their presence lives on in us and the experiences that we shared with them. And that's what we passed down. Even though they're not here physically, they're obviously in our thoughts. Alright. Now, sorry. Trying to get this shit together. It goes beyond words. Everyone who's here tonight knows how extremely generous and supportive and loving you are of all of us. Family, friends. Well, family, we're all family, as I said before, but this night wouldn't have been possible without you guys, so we're so, so thankful. I don't think I can express how thankful we are, but we are. You know, we are. So, thank you, Mum and Dad. Okay, let's round out these thank yous. The next cab off the rank is the bridesmaids. You bridesmaids look absolutely gorgeous. You know you're already gorgeous. So. Yeah, let's have it up to the bridesmaids. But for those of you who don't know, each and every single one of the bridesmaids has travelled so far just to be here tonight. Joe from New Zealand, and that was the short trip. Had Miloshny.
Oh my God.
Or Pads, as she's affectionately known, from South Africa. And Annabelle, my sister, from London. And without them, I know they've made such a dramatic impact on Varushka and made my life a hell of a lot easier throughout this process. So girls, I thank you in the utmost for your support and love of Varushka and making this what it is today. Come on, guys. Might have to be a little bit more subtle with my cues. Insert clap now. No, seriously. Obviously, running in tow with the bridesmaids is the groomsmen, my amazing groomsmen. I'm so proud to be able to have them up here this evening tonight. For me, it was funny. I was talking to Muggsy the other night, and I said to him, "That's Simon. Simon's Muggsy." But I just said to him, marriage and what we're going through today is just as much about the people that are around you as it is about Varushka and I. And I know for a fact that without these three men, who have been such an influence in my life up until this point, I wouldn't be the man that I am today, and the man that Varushka obviously subsequently loves so much. So I can't thank them wholeheartedly enough. But I like to think of these three men as representatives of you guys out there, because it was such a hard decision. It was so painstaking not being able to tell everyone what we were planning, even though everyone assumed it anyway by the sound of things. But even still, it wasn't through lack of wanting to have you guys all of a part of it. It was just what Varushka and I wanted. And at the end of the day, it's our day, so I don't really care what everyone thinks. But I like to think of these three men as representatives of everyone who's here tonight. So Brad, he's been my best mate for as long as I can remember. We grew up together, we've grown into men together, and we've shared in so many great experiences, but he's representative of all the boys that I grew up with, all my mates from high school. I just look at Brad and I think of all those boys. And I could easily have 50 guys up here, just as much as the three of them. My brother, who I love dearly, he's an amazing brother, and he's representative of all my family, my cousins. My cousins are very much just like my brothers and sisters. And I could easily have any one of them up there. I do love them all. I'm really dragging on now. Okay, thirdly, obviously Simon's one of the men. I've only known him since 2007. Is he? 7. Maths wasn't your strong point, Jess. But from the moment that I met Simon, he was a man that I looked up to, even though physically I looked down to him.
Too easy.
He plays bigger than his stature. But he's very much representative of the friendships that I've formed later on. Thanks, Em. The friendships that I've formed later on in life, and in particular, the friendships that I formed down in Inverloch, where I lived for 5 years. And you know, there's so many people here from Inverloch tonight that can't go without saying. And that just for me fortifies everything that I've already thought anyway. That those friendships are so long lasting, and I'm so appreciative of that time that I spent down there, because it formed the person that I am today. So men, I thank you a lot. Bridesmaids, I thank you extensively. V's coming, don't worry. I've got plenty of words for V, I'll be here all night. But before I get to V, I just want to say thank you to Ross as well, who was... Ross came all the way from... Where'd you come from, Ross? Yarrawonga. But and again, another Inverloch connection, and he was kind enough to be able to make this night what it is tonight. So I'm extremely thankful to Ross, so a big round of applause. All right. If we're not asleep just yet, you're going to have to wake it up, because now I get to talk about my beautiful wife. And Varushka Pillay, the love of my life, I told her one day I'd make her my wife. And today I did. Those of you that know me well, yes, I do choose awesome. But today I well and truly chose awesome. From the moment that Varushka came into my life, things just got a little bit awesomer. I didn't think it was possible, I know, disbelief. But they did. She's such an amazing woman, and we've known each other now for in excess of, well, just under 3 years. But ever since the day that I met her, I knew there was something special about her. For those of you that don't know, Varushka and I actually met through Tinder. So a big shout out through Tinder. For me, I've got a 100% strike rate on Tinder. Varushka was the first girl that I met on Tinder. Sure, I chatted with a couple, but she was the first one. Good looking stock. That's another story. Modesty. But Varushka was the first person that I actually met in person. And from that moment, I was taken. I was off the market. For the sake of a better word, and I know some of you girls will love this, she was the one. But it was by no means an easy feat. It was by no means an easy course. As it's been stated this evening, I'm very strong in my convictions, and I'm determined to do what I set out to do. And part of that was going to live in Mexico for a year. We'd been together for about 10 months before I sold my business and I went and lived in Mexico. But both of us were extremely committed to each other. Hey, what about me? But throughout 12 months, we managed to stay together. We stuck to the basics. We did what we had to do, and we stayed connected. And I think for me, once I got back, that was the thing that sealed the deal. I knew from that stage, and you can ask a few of my mates, but I knew from that stage that I was going to marry her. It was just a matter of when. But Varushka has been the most supportive, loving, extremely confident young lady, self-assured, beautiful woman. Someone that, I don't know, words don't describe it. I can't, you know, I've got, you know, an extensive vocabulary. But I actually can't put it into words how wonderful this woman is. But I knew from the moment today that she was walking down the aisle, and even prior to that, I knew that she was the one for me. I've just never been so calm and so sure and so in the moment that I am now. And I attribute a lot of that to, if not all of that, to Varushka. I love you extremely. I'm looking forward to our adventure together, and I love what we've created and the people that we've got to influence us and support us for the rest of our lives. So with that being said, with the formalities all put to the side, let's enjoy this party. I'm over the talking, funnily enough. But thank you again so much, and let's make this, a hell of a night. There's no lockout, there's no time off, so we're just going to go as long as we can.